The penultimate episode of The Wheel of Time Season 3 ended with a tremendous struggle over the survival of the Two Rivers village. The Battle of Emond's Field, as described in Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time books, was fought between the Two Rivers people and Padan Fain's Trolloc army. The Battle of Emond's Field, similar to how it played out on television, served as the climax of Perrin Aybara's story in The Shadow Rising, the series. Although Golden Eyes was not a season finale, the scope and ferocity of the combat were comparable to the Battle of Falme, which took place in the Wheel of Time Season 2 finale. And, like that story, which was based on the end of the Great Hunt, the Battle of Emond's Field was highly influenced by Jordan's work, duplicating several story beats and twists, giving book-accurate character moments, and making some surprising adjustments along the way. In fact, it reversed 3 critical moments in The Shadow Rising. In The Wheel of Time Season 3, Episode 7, Loial told Perrin of his decision to close the Waygate, and Bain and Chiad insisted on accompanying him. The scheme was viewed as a suicide mission, with Loial even exchanging heartfelt goodbyes before his departure and eventual sacrifice from within the Waygate. Loial's plot was based on The Shadow Rising, but it had fewer implications. Loial went against Perrin's admonition to everyone not to leave the Two Rivers, and he was escorted by Gaul rather than Bain and Chiad. What happened during Loial and Gaul's voyage to the Waygate was not depicted, although their efforts were proven to be successful. Loial returned with a wounded Gaul after the two were attacked by Trollocs during their trip. Gaul's injuries were the only consequences of their conduct, but the show forced Loial suffer the ultimate price. In the episode, Perrin attempted and failed to persuade the Wheel of Time's Fail Basher to rescue herself, claiming that this was not her war. Unsurprisingly, it did not work, and Fail remained by Perrin's side, determined to fight the Trollocs until the end. Perrin's book counterpart, like the TV character, was determined to keep Fail safe, with the notable exception that Fail agreed to leave. It appears that Perrin believed he could keep her safe by sending her away for reinforcements. Aside from his reasons, the strategy worked well, with Fail's mission to seek assistance finally helping them turn the tide against the Trollocs. When Fail returned, she brought back the residents of Devon Ride, a neighboring village. With Devon Ride joining the fight and the Waygate closed, the Two Rivers residents were able to repel the Trollocs and defend their homes. Devon Ride played no role in Golden Eyes, as they were not required for their success. That's because the Wheel of Time's White Cloaks took a different route than the book characters. In both stories, Perrin proposed an alliance between the Two Rivers people and the Children of the Light, which Dane Bornhald rejected in the TV series, but accepted in The Shadow Rising. Interestingly, Dane's opinion changed in both versions of the Battle of Emond's Field. After initially deciding to stand aside and let the Trollocs weaken or kill them, the television version of Dane Bornhald made a last-minute decision to join forces with Perrin and the others. In The Shadow Rising, Dane Bornhald breached his vow to help by instructing his soldiers to stand down during the onslaught. This is why, in the book, Devon Ride's assistance was critical to the survival of the Two Rivers, but not on television. Dane Bornhald's unusual decision in The Wheel of Time Season 3, Episode 7, prepared the stage for yet another book reversal, Perrin's surrender to the White Cloaks. In an apparent homage to Tuathan teachings, Perrin encouraged the Two Rivers folk not to assault when the White Cloaks arrived at the end of the episode. This is in stark contrast to The Shadow Rising, in which the Two Rivers people drove White Cloaks away, refusing to let Perrin be caught. The change, of course, is due to Dane Bornhald's conduct during the Battle of Emond's Field. Because he did assist and honor his agreement with Perrin, there was much less resistance in the Wheel of Time's production, especially since Perrin said that he planned to keep his end of the bargain. The White Cloaks from The Shadow Rising, on the other hand, were in a much worse situation. They attempted to seize Perrin despite breaching their vow to help. Thus, it came as no surprise that they were turned down. Thank you for watching.